Hello, Ramley and other NFL family. Payo time live here with you today. We're just doing a recap of the Rams-Cowboys game. I wanted to do this earlier today, but Sundays get busy. But we're going to talk. I have 5 main thoughts I want to give, and then I want to just hear your thoughts. I want to hear your comments, questions, and we'll talk about them. I'll be honest, I love that Rams football is back. I'm so glad that the NFL season is close, that preseason action is in full swing. There's been some fun performances, and the Rams are no exception to that. So really, overall, I just am really happy we got to see that game that we did. And it just reminds me how much closer we are to the NFL season starting here. So I'm going to give a couple of shout outs. We got some people that already got some comments in before I give my 5 main takeaways. But Porter saying, do you think the refs helped the Cowboys in the second quarter? For me, yes. 2 was not PI, and that was taunting, not NFL trash talk. Let them play in preseason. These refs need to be fired. That's a hot take, Porter. That's a hot take. I'm going to show a little bit of grace to the refs because they're getting back in the swing too. But I hear you. I am of the mindset of I believe there's a greater chance in human error than there is in refs favoring a certain team. And I'm not a professional ref, but I've reffed soccer before. I've reffed some flag football games before. I've reffed some basketball games before. I've reffed a lot of dodgeball. And you're human, right? You miss stuff. Now, NFL refs are professional refs and have a lot of technical equipment to assist them to do the best job possible. And you definitely don't want it to be a narrative post-game, right? Do you think the conductor will play week 1 if he's injured to Kobe Turner? I do think he will. I know he's also dealing with his own back soreness. I am of the mindset of the Rams are just overly cautious, and that's a good thing. If you have a player that is they're in the prime of their career, they're developed, they don't need necessarily to prove to make the roster. Why risk it, right? Go into the season as healthy as possible. And so I think that's what they're doing with guys like Kobe Turner and Matthew Stafford. Lastly, give me your prediction. How many catches will yards and touchdowns will Devontae Adams have in week 1, plus with Puka Nacua? And sorry, I add a lot of questions. No, I like your questions. No worries. I really don't know. I'm excited to see it, but I still am struggling to picture Devontae Adams in this Rams offense. I need to see it, especially in the red zone. But I don't think it's crazy to think that both Adams and Puka have a touchdown week 1 against the Texans. I don't think. And maybe one of them goes over 100. Not sure. Willie Bowen, hello. What's up, Peo? Xavier Smith is going to be a part of the LA Rams wide receiver core with Nacua, Adams, and Atwell also winning. He made a good pitch for it last night, especially with that catch. Ooh. Yeah, and I'll talk more about him in my my takeaways. Yes. Hey, what's up, SM? Good to see you. Horns up, man. Appreciate you. So, all right. Well, everyone, I appreciate y'all rolling with me. I'm going to take a break from your comments and questions, and I'm going to give my 5 observations, takeaways from the game, the preseason game versus the Cowboys. And whether you're watching live with me or on the replay, appreciate you tuning on in. And I would love to hear your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes. So I have 5 here. I'm going to go through them, and then you guys feel free to comment. If you think I'm wrong, be like, you're wrong. Or if you think, I'm right, you can be like, I affirm you. So first one. All right, so my 5 takeaways from the Rams preseason win over the Dallas Cowboys. Number 1, the Rams are way better than the Cowboys in terms of depth. And that's not rude to say. The Rams have a better coaching staff. they've drafted way more players over the past 3 seasons than the Cowboys, and they've done a better job of drafting than the Cowboys. I know Brian Schottenheimer is still a rookie head coach at like age 50, but I guess I'm still bitter of his time as offensive coordinator with the Rams, but I just think the Rams are a substantially better team than the Cowboys are. And when I've seen a couple of Cowboys reactions to the game, and they talk about, the issues that the Cowboys have. And I'm not disputing that the Cowboys have got issues, but I think that the Rams are just that much better of a team. I really do. And I have no issue with saying that the Rams have better depth, and that depth was on display in that game. So that's my first takeaway. Takeaway number 2. Stetson Bennett proved he should make the 53-man roster for a lot of reasons. Missed the S there. I think that number 1, you do have an older quarterback in Matthew Stafford, and having 3 quarterbacks on the depth chart is not a bad thing. If the Rams were to, say, trade for another, I'm just throwing this out there, like say a Zach Wilson or a Mike White, something like that, like kind of that journeyman level of NFL quarterback. I think Stetson Bennett has developed into that level. I really do. I think he put on a strong performance. I know a lot of people, they didn't like to see the interception. No one does. But I think Stetson Bennett looked poised out there. I think he looked confident out there. And he operated efficiently. And I think that's really what you want to see out of Stetson Bennett at this point, right? In year 3, in development. And he is playing for his NFL future. And I think that Stetson Bennett will make the 53-man roster as a third-string quarterback. And he may not ever see the field, and that's okay. But I think given the Rams roster and where it's at right now, having a third quarterback that knows this offensive system inside and out because he's been in it for the past, 2.5 years, that makes this Rams roster better, and that's why he should make the 53-man roster. All right, my third thought or observation from the game. Xavier Smith, X Factor, is becoming one of my favorite Rams players. Yeah, what's more to say? He is the Rams return ace. He really is. Ever since he touched the ball against the 49ers last year and set them up for a game-winning field goal, Xavier Smith is a joy to watch. He is a story that's easy to root for. Whenever you see him, in the limited press that he gets, you can just tell he's worked so hard for the opportunities he gets. He is quickly becoming one of my favorite Rams players, and I know Willie said he's going to make this roster. I agree. I fully believe he will be either the 4th or 5th wide receiver on this Rams team, and I think that's a good thing. I don't think he'll just be a return specialist. I think there'll be opportunities for him in the season for him to be that X factor and make a big statement for this Rams season. Xavier Smith, big fan. Can't wait to see more. All right, my 4th takeaway. The Rams still have secrets to show the NFL. And I almost labeled this the Rams secret secondary. And I think the secondary is something that Ram fans, including myself, have maybe been getting wrong. They believe in these guys. And we saw the depth. We didn't see a Kel Weatherspoon or Darius Williams out there, but Darian Kendricks was out there. We still don't know exactly what's up with Emmanuel Forbes. He's battling through some injury. But the Lampkin's pick, right? This Rams secondary might be underrated. And it's because I remember going into the draft, a lot of Ram fans, including myself, were like, "Oh, you got to draft a corner in the first round. You got to draft a corner in this, second round." And like pretty much the whole draft, everyone was like, "Man, when are the Rams going to draft a corner?" And they didn't. And I think that that's one of the best kept secrets on this Rams team is that their secondary actually is better than what they are given credit for. They believe in the veteran talent they have. They believe in the young players that are going to get better because they've been developing. And I think this Rams secondary is going to be one of the best kept secrets on this Rams team. I think that Blake Corum and Cody, I don't know if Cody Schrager is going to make the team, but between Jarquez Hunter and Blake Corum, I think there's some depth at that running back position. So, and Xavier Smith, who I just talked about, he's part of that, right? They're secrets. They're not the stars. They're the secret players that they aren't the first pick of your fantasy football draft. They probably don't go drafted at all, but they're going to show up on Sundays and they're going to make some plays for this Rams team. And rival fans of other teams are going to be like, who's Xavier Smith? Who's Jordan Whittington? Why did Emmanuel Forbes Jr. get an interception, right? Why Darian Kendrick, didn't he get injured? What, he's still playing? And all those Rams players that are just, the best kept secret. And I think this Rams team has been criticized for lack of depth since 2021. I feel like every year that's been a narrative of like, oh, they're top heavy. Well, if they're a few injuries away from being a bad team. No, this Rams team is built with depth. This is one of the best well-rounded rosters we've seen on the Rams in years, possibly the best ever in the Sean McVay era. And I think that these secret players that aren't your household names will be the reason that the Rams have one of their best seasons ever in their history this year. And my fifth and final takeaway before I get to your comments, the Rams culture was on full display on that sideline. Smiles, hype, and note takers. My favorite scene from the sideline during that game was Kyron Williams taking notes. And I don't know if he was writing for himself or for other running backs, but it shows he was watching the game and he was writing stuff down. I would love to know what he was writing, but I'm assuming he's not just doodling, because he's being a student of the game. I loved seeing Kobe Turner and Byron Young and Jared Verse and all Braden Fisk, all the Rams defensive players. When they saw the Rams defense make a play, have a 3-and-out, they're cheering on the sideline. They're stoked, right? And I know that I've been part of high school teams or rec league teams, and we get stoked, right, when we do something cool. But I love seeing that in a professional team. I love seeing that mindset. And this Rams culture has been built since 2017 when McVay got here, and they signed Robert Woods, they signed Andrew Whitworth. But this Rams culture has organically grown into what it is now. And the culture keeps getting handed and changed a little bit, going from Robert Woods and Andrew Whitworth to Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald, to, now, you see Puka, you see Kobe Turner, you see Jared Verse. These players are bought in, right? The whole, me then we mentality that used to be me, not we, right? And McVay very much at the heart of that. And the Rams culture gives them an advantage over a ton of other NFL teams. And the way that the Rams have been scouting players, not just for football talent, but for what's between the ears, that's going to serve them really well. Anyway, those are my 5 takeaways from the game versus the Cowboys. I want to hear yours. Feel free to let me know if you disagree or agree with any of my takes. But overall, I think it was a phenomenal performance by the Rams, obviously showcasing a lot of depth and talent. But I also, as I mentioned at my first point, I just think right now the Rams are in a way better place than the Cowboys are. All right. Feel free to like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and let me know what you think. Let's get to your comments. All right. So let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Porter, why didn't Whittington play? Is he going to be a starter? I think so. I think that's because we haven't heard anything about injuries keeping him sidelined. So I think he's earned his roster spot. And the wide receiver depth that the Rams have, I just think McVay and Michael LaFleur wanted to give that depth an opportunity to showcase, right? See Mumpfield, see Xavier Smith, right? And so I think that's kind of the reason we didn't see Whittington. I don't want to be like the Browns with a bunch of quarterbacks. That worries me if we get more. Yeah, I don't think we'll be like the Browns. The Rams got a lot going on that's better than the Browns. Stetson looked like he has his Georgia swag back. Yeah, he was slinging it. Stetson was slinging it. That's for sure. Schrager looked good, Clark. Yeah, I agree. I'm curious what happens with Cody Schrager. Does he make this team on special teams? I don't know, but I think if he doesn't make the Rams roster, he's getting picked up somewhere. Yeah. Isabel, hello. Happy preseason. Good afternoon. Yes. John, solid. Yep. Yep. AMS Willie Lampkin was open up some nice holes in the second half. He is a steal. Yeah, Lampkin looked really good. Yep. This is the deepest Rams team I've ever seen, and I've been following the Rams for 55 years. AMS, I love that comment. I agree. I appreciate OG fans like yourself. For me, I've been a fan since '99, so not quite on your level, but I agree. This is a deep roster. When I think of like the deepest Rams rosters, that 2018 team was pretty deep. I'd go back to 2002, like from 99 to 2002, they had a pretty deep roster. In my lifetime, those would be probably the comparisons. But yeah, it's this team. They're ready to win some games. They're ready to win some games. Do you think? Who do you think is going to be RB2? And will Sean use all his running backs this year? I think Blake Corum will be running back 2, and I could see Blake Corum getting more use. I think it's going to be game flow dictated, right? If it's a close game, I don't expect Kyren Williams to come off the field very much. But if there are games where the Rams have a lead, they got to close it out. I could definitely see that happening. But I also think McVay tends to go with the hot hand. But now that Kyren Williams has kind of cemented himself as the lead back, I'm not expecting him to not come off the field if in close games. So I think it'll be totally dependent on how the game script goes. Hey, Grandizer. Oh, I hope you're enjoying the Dolphins game. Yeah, enjoy it. Yeah. I watched the first quarter of that game. Our coaching staff is going to get rated after this season. AMS, it's true. I thought Michael LaFleur, Chris Shula, at least one of them were going to get hired out last year. I'm really glad they didn't. But yeah, I think if the Rams win as many games as we think they're going to, Michael LaFleur is definitely getting hired, and Chris Shula is definitely getting hired. I could see that. Let's see. Do you think we're gonna get Woods again? I missed him on there. I love Robert Woods. Yeah, I don't think he'll be back, unfortunately, but I'm trying to think where he is right now. Is he still with the Texans? I gotta look that up. Robert Woods. Where is he right now? Oh, he's with the Steelers. Right. He's with the Steelers. Okay. Interesting. I don't see him coming back to the Rams, but always thankful for what he did when he was here for sure. That's not what they said on the Hawks. Oh, what did they not say? I only heard one take. Oh, well, okay. Mumpfield was a little tight. Looking forward to seeing how he responds to. Yeah, and again, I think Mumfield he was drafted in the 7th round, and he's had a good camp. I thought he had some good routes there. Yeah, definitely excited to see him again in preseason action, and I could see him. I could see him doing really well next game against the Chargers. He was styling. I'm not sure what you mean there, Grandizer. Do we still have Kobe Parkinson from last year? Yes, he is still on the roster. And I think Davis Allen looked really good. So honestly, Kobe Parkinson, if you were to ask me what players could potentially be traded, I think Kobe Parkinson would be on that list. I don't know if there's a team out there that is looking for him, but if they're looking for tight end depth, he might be someone the Rams might trade. Goodbye. Oh, I like Ronnie. I like Ronnie Rivers. I like Strager too. It'll be it'll be interesting to see. I think Rivers didn't. We're still waiting on information about him, but yeah, we'll see. We know that for sure. Like Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, and Jerquez Hunter will make it. So it'll be interesting if they get a fourth running back on the roster. I like the 2018 season, but our defense let us down versus Brady. Well, they held the Patriots 13 points in the Super Bowl. Yeah, obviously towards the end there, Brady got the best of them. But I think there's some other things that went wrong in that Super Bowl. Hey, Tribe. Yeah, that's that. Oh, that game. Oh. Josiah Stewart was a steal. I thought that at the draft, and I'm even more convinced now. Yeah, going into this game, he was one of the players I was most excited to see. He was flying around the field. I'm really excited to see him in a game. Like the Cowboys, especially early that game, they threw it a lot and didn't have a lot of success. Joe Milton, like it seemed like every throw he was throwing was just like he was going for broke, right? Like, and so the Cowboys really didn't get anything going early in this game. I'm excited for a game where if say the Chargers or the Browns have more of kind of run heavy package, I can see Josiah Stewart really showcasing what he can do. Like to see some O-line depth improve. We switched up quite a bit. Yeah. And again, that's been a criticism of this Rams team, but I think they've really done a nice job developing O-line depth. Remember some Ram fans say they wanted OBJ back? Yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. I feel like just we have such fond memories of Odell, and he left in just an unfortunate way, getting injured in the Super Bowl like he did. But I think fondly of Odell. I know he hasn't had much success post his Ram tenure, but that's just sort of the reality of it. Hey, Joe Kim, good to see you again. Always a pleasure. You think the Rams will be good in the future, or maybe a dynasty? JK47, I don't know. I think the potential is there. So I have two things that come to mind with this question. If Matthew Stafford retires, what do the Rams do at quarterback? And depending on what the Rams do at quarterback, does Sean McVay want to stay around? Does Sean McVay want to develop a rookie quarterback? Does he want to just try and trade for a disgruntled starting quarterback again, right? Like Joe Burrow or something. And I think that will dictate if McVay can keep coaching, which I believe he could, then I think that the potential is there. It's absolutely there. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. What happens to Zach Evans? Yeah, I'm trying to Zach Evans. What team is he on now? So is he on the Jets? I'm looking. Well, let's see here. One sec. Where is he? Okay. He was with the Rams. He was with the Jets. And he might still be with the Jets. I think he is. Yeah. So and then he retired. Yes. Right. On just not too long ago, July 28th, Evans announced his retirement from football. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. I think it was probably injury related by the sounds of it. So not exactly sure the full story. I think the intensity and fire the Rams played with yesterday is a good sign for what this year's team is all about. Yeah, agreed, Joachim. I very much agree. People not streaming the 2018 Super Bowl cost. Where was it? I'm trying to. I didn't even have YouTube on my radar. Like I remember watching Tom Grossi and like other NFL content creators at the time. I never thought I'd be one, and then I took a dive into this world and it happened. But I won't accept full responsibility for that 2018 Super Bowl loss, but I'll take 2%. There's a couple of your points, but on the Hawks Nest, they would just, oh, okay, that's cool. They're welcome to disagree all they want. I know I disagree with a lot of what the Seahawks fans are saying. Some of those calls last night were questionable. Yeah, and again, I think that's going to happen. When you have humans involved, right? It happens. I was thinking about him. Yeah, Zach Evans, he's long gone. Yeah. Oh, did he sign with the CFL team? Okay. Hey, you got to make picks. You can't hit them on them all, right? Rams have 2 first-round picks, 2 fifth-round picks, 2 sixth-round picks, and 2 seventh-round picks. The future is looking bright. Yeah, no, it's so funny because I'm so stoked for this season, but I'm equally as stoked for next offseason to see what the Rams do. Right? There's so many question marks, but I'm going to enjoy this season for while we have it, and we'll see. Playing for the Calgary, gotcha. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, now you're just spreading rumors about me. Yeah. I've been a Rams fan since '99. Okay, wait, Pale. That is what one fan told you back in 2020. I don't remember that. No, I've had people say very, very mean things to me on the internet, and if you're gonna do this YouTube thing, you just have to not care. A new segment. Oh. Hey, hello, Blue Lock Rivals liker. Good to see you. A new segment. Former Rams players since McVay got hired. Where are they now? Oh, that's a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good idea. I don't know if I can do that in the season because there's so much to talk about, but off-season content, that's peak off-season content idea right there. Selective memory. Yeah, no, you gotta have it. If you're gonna do YouTube, especially sports talk, you gotta just I won't repeat some of the meanest things that were ever said to me on this platform, but I'm pretty quick to be like, okay, yeah, you just you're just having a bad day, and I'll just hide your comment there. Logan Brass, is he still with the Rams? No. Let's see what happened with Logan Brass. Logan Brass. Where is he? Yeah, he's with the he was with the Titans. Let's see. No, so on April 16th, 2025, Brass was waived by the Titans due to a failed physical. So it looks like right now he is out of football, sadly. Can't stand Logan Brass. Yeah. There was a lot of he just never really developed Logan Brass. Yeah. No, never really developed like the Rams had hoped he would when they drafted him. But I don't know. Like I like what this Rams O line is offering. That's for sure. So what do you guys? That's probably. Wait. Make your schedules prediction. All right. You know what? We'll do this. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, I have no plan. Just so you guys know, I'm good to go as long as you guys want. As long as you guys keep asking good questions or having good chats and stuff. But I know people got live, so if you got somewhere to be, that's cool. But yeah, let's bring up the Rams regular season. Okay, wait. Rams 2025 schedule. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Just bringing this up here. Okay. This will be fun. Okay, this will be fun. We want the Rams. Okay, that's not what I thought it was. Never mind. Just go. Okay. I was trying to do something cool. It didn't work. So I'll just go with regular season schedule. Here we go. All right. Give me a moment here to get set up. I'm working. And we're going to do this. We're doing it. Okay. All right. Let's do this, folks. And I want you guys, as I'm doing this, you guys put win or loss in the chat. I want to hear your predictions as well as mine. Okay. No, we'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out. I don't think so. Okay. And yeah, well, the Chargers are pretty they're pretty banged up. So yeah, they called off the joint practice with the Rams. Okay. Let's bring in to this schedule here. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so we know there's a win there from the Cowboys. And you know what? I'm just going to say win versus the Chargers and loss versus the Browns, just because I think that the Rams are going to take it easy. Okay, but now the games that actually matter. Week 1. What do you guys think? Win or lose versus the Texans? I want to hear your thoughts. I'm going to say win. I think that the Rams match up well. It's by no means a gimme. I think week 1 is unpredictable, and the Texans are a good team and formidable. But I like the Rams. They're at home. I like the Rams starting off the season with a big W. All right. Grant, you're just trolling, Grandizer. Okay, so yeah, we're on the same page with that. Win. Okay, so everyone thinks we're winning against the Texans. Okay, cool. With a 24-16. Okay, I like it. All right, so we're 1-0. 1-0. Titans, I'm going to also say win. Okay, what are we saying? Titans? And we're assuming Stafford is playing. Yes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they do joint practices week 3 of the preseason just to kind of heal up. And I think there's a certain point in time they have to make roster cuts. And so I don't think they'll do a joint practice with the Rams or with the Browns. Okay, win. It's going to be fun to see Cam Ward early in the year. I'm looking forward to that. Make them feel small. Okay, so we're 2-0. Then the Rams travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. I'm going to say I think it's going to be a close game. I think like overtime game possibly. I'm going to say win. 3-0. 3-0. What do you guys think? Rams, Eagles, win or loss? Lose close to the Eagles? Maybe. Okay. loss. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I do think this Rams team matches up quite well with the Eagles. 2-1. Okay, so some of you guys are saying 2-1. Okay, all you guys are saying they're going to lose the Eagle. Okay, all right. Narrow loss, holding the playbook back for the play. Okay, James. Okay. I'm still going with the win. Okay, JK47. We're going with the W there. All right. So I have the Rams at 3-0. Yeah, Eagles and Ravens, those are tough games. Yeah. All right. Then they go back to SoFi and they host the Indianapolis Colts, where tickets are as low as $38 right now. I'm gonna say win. The Rams have had some close games against the Colts, but they've always come out on top. So I'm gonna say win. Got another win here, right? Okay, so some of us are saying 4-0, some 3-1. We win all games up until Baltimore. Oh, okay. And yeah, because then we play the 49ers on a short week. So it's a Thursday night football game. And I'm gonna say, first game in October. There's still so many question marks with the Niners, but I'm gonna say win for the Rams on that short week. And I'm thinking the Rams start off 5-0. Everyone's buzzing, everyone's having a good time, and then they travel to Baltimore to play the Ravens. And I think that's where the first loss is, sadly. Yep. You're saying 38-35 win? Oh, okay. Win versus those horses. Colts, $38 on a Subway sandwich. Yeah, so 4-1. Okay, so at week 5, a lot of us are 4-1. Okay. Then we fly over across the pond. There's my British accent kicking in there. To take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was a bad accent. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, playing the Jags in London. I'm going to say win. Potential trap game, just because I'm not believing the Jags hype, but I see it. But I'm going to say win there, and going into the bye at 6-1. Cheerio. Top of the morning to you. Win 31. Okay, yeah, dominant win. Oh, silly fun guy coming in with a joke. I got a new pair of gloves today, but they're both lefts. Which on the one hand is great, but on the other hand is not right. Oh, man, so funny. I don't know if you come up with all these jokes yourself. Are you a stand-up comedian or something? Because or I don't know, what do you do for a lot of work, silly fun guy? Because if you work in an office or something, I feel like everyone wants to have lunch with you just because you have these good jokes. Okay, back to the schedule. So bye week, I'm going to say that's a win off the record. Then playing the Saints and the Niners and the Seahawks. Now, I'm going to say that we beat the Saints, and I'm going to say we lose to the Niners. I think we I'd love to sweep them, but I'm going to say we split with the Niners this year. And then I think we beat the Seahawks week 11. So that would take us to 8-2 on the year of my record predictions. You own and operate a small motel, and about half of the jokes are my own, and the other half are okay. Okay, so you don't have that, man. I wish you had do you have employees at this small motel? I have so many questions. Yeah, they must love you or something. That's so funny. So you own and operate a small motel. Okay, very cool. Oh man, do you have jokes in every room or something? Okay, all 3 wins. You're sweeping the Niners, win the Saints, win the Seahawks. Ooh, close Seahawks win. Okay. Then Tampa Bay, Sunday Night Football, Panthers, Cardinals. Now, I'm going to note we play the Cardinals twice late in the season. Historically, the Cardinals have kind of crashed and burned late in the year, so I am going off that historical data. I do think the Cardinals are an improved team, though, this year. But I'm going to say they beat Tampa on a Sunday night as a statement win. That has playoff implications in terms of seeding. Then they beat Carolina, and they beat the Cardinals. So I think that up to this point, the Rams will be 11-2. 11-2. And then I'll just finish off here, and then I want to hear from you guys. So then they have the rematch again with Detroit, and that's going to be an intense game in SoFi. I still can't believe that's not Sunday Night Football. Come on, NFL, wake up. But good news is we don't have to wait all day for it. I think that Stafford finally gets his revenge on the juggernaut Detroit Lions team. The Rams win that one. Then they got a short week to face the Seahawks, and I think the Rams win that one. Then Monday Night Football, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to say it. I think they beat them too. And I think that week 18, the Rams will have the number 1 seed locked up. And then they will go into to this game with Jimmy G as the quarterback. And I think they will win there also, even with Jimmy G. And the Rams will have a 15-2 regular season. I know it's optimistic. I know a lot of you agree with me that this Rams team is ready to win. Just one employee. I use jokes to break the ice with customers. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh man, I hope that I hope your motel guests appreciate your humor. You're saying we lose versus the Lions, win versus the Lions, win versus the Seahawks, win at Cardinals, win over the Falcons. All right, yeah, let's get some record predictions in here, folks. So I'm saying 15-2, JK 47, 15-2. Yeah, God beat them finally. Yep. Yours 13-4, Blue Lock Rivals. Okay. I like it. Yeah, no, this Rams team is ready to win some games. 11 wins, and we're in. Yeah, but we want home field advantage with this roster, right? We want to go to the Super Bowl. Oh, you think lose? Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And I do think the Cardinals fight for a wild card spot this year. We'll see. It's a big year for them. 13-4. 13-4. Okay. I can see it. Perhaps. Yep. Awesome. Well, guys, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. I think I'm gonna. It's about 5:43 where I am now, so I haven't had dinner yet. So I'm gonna probably cook up some pork chops or something. But thanks for hanging out with me on a Sunday afternoon, talking about the Rams a little bit. I'll probably clip out my 5 reactions or 5 observations about this in a separate video. So if you guys want to like and share that video out, that would be much appreciated. But appreciate each and every one of you. Rams football is back, and I cannot wait. I'll be hosting a watch party, of course, on Saturday. Rams Chargers. I already have that scheduled. So feel free to like that, share it out, all that good stuff. You guys are amazing. I love doing this. Can't wait to see what we can do together this season on YouTube, but more importantly, what the Rams do in the NFL. Oh, 18-2. I love that joke, Kim. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks again for watching. Remember, you're all amazing human beings. You have a purpose. You have life. And as always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. Woo! We'll see you later.